What if the greatest inventions in human history weren't modern at all, but created thousands of years earlier than we ever imagined? What if ancient civilizations knew secrets of science and engineering that we have only recently begun to rediscover? Tonight, we reveal the unbelievable ancient inventions that were 1,000 years ahead of their time. These discoveries challenge everything we think we know about the past, and they prove that our ancestors were far more advanced than history books ever taught us. Let's begin with one of the most mind-blowing discoveries, the Antikythera Mechanism. Over 2,000 years old, pulled from a shipwreck off the coast of Greece, this mysterious device is often called the world's first computer. With dozens of precisely cut gears and dials, it could predict eclipses, track planetary positions, and calculate astronomical cycles with incredible accuracy. Scientists using X-rays have found inscriptions showing it could even predict Olympic Games dates. Nothing like it would appear again for more than 1,000 years. How could the ancient Greeks possess such complex technology? Did they inherit knowledge from a forgotten culture? Or was human genius simply lost for centuries before being reborn? The Antikythera Mechanism is a stunning reminder that advanced science is not as modern as we think. Now we travel to the Roman Empire, where builders created a material so strong that it has outlasted even our modern concrete. Roman concrete, made with volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, has survived for over 2,000 years, stronger today than when it was first poured. Modern scientists still struggle to replicate it. Unlike modern concrete, which crumbles within decades, Roman concrete actually gets stronger with time as crystals form inside its structure. This invention allowed Romans to build aqueducts, harbors, and monuments that still stand today. Imagine if we had never lost this formula. How many of today's crumbling bridges and skyscrapers could have lasted for millennia? Roman concrete was not just advanced, it was a gift of engineering far ahead of its time. Next, we uncover the legendary Damascus steel, a metal so strong and sharp that it became the stuff of myth. Forged in the Middle East over 1,000 years ago, Damascus blades could slice through lesser weapons, bend without breaking, and keep their edge sharp for years. Even more mysterious, the exact method of creating Damascus steel has been lost. Scientists today believe it involved nanostructures of carbon that were far beyond the understanding of medieval blacksmiths. How did they achieve such perfection? Was it trial and error, or knowledge passed down from even earlier cultures? The truth may never be known, but Damascus steel remains one of the greatest lost technologies of history. In the deserts of Iraq, archaeologists uncovered something even stranger: the Baghdad Battery. A small clay jar with a copper cylinder and iron rod inside, dating back over 2,000 years. Many believe it could generate a small electrical charge when filled with an acidic liquid. If true, this would mean ancient civilizations had access to electricity long before modern science. Some suggest it was used for electroplating jewelry, others think it had ritual purposes. Skeptics say it may just be a simple container. But the fact remains, the Baghdad Battery looks strikingly like a primitive power source. Centuries before, Benjamin Franklin flew his kite or Edison lit his bulbs. From the Middle East, we head to China, where over 1,800 years ago, a brilliant inventor named Zhang Heng created the world's first seismograph. This bronze vessel, decorated with dragons and toads, could detect earthquakes hundreds of miles away. When the ground shook, a ball would drop from the mouth of a dragon into a toad's mouth, pointing to the direction of the quake. Modern tests show it worked with astonishing accuracy. This invention predates modern seismographs by nearly 1,500 years. How could ancient engineers design something so sensitive, so advanced, long before the technology of our age? Zhang Heng's seismograph shows that ancient science was capable of miracles we can barely comprehend. But the secrets of war also reveal incredible inventions. Consider the terrifying weapon known as Greek fire. Developed by the Byzantine Empire around the 7th century, it was a liquid that could burn even on water, clinging to ships and soldiers alike. It gave the Byzantines a massive advantage in naval battles. The formula was so secret that it was never written down, and it has since been lost to history. Modern chemists still cannot fully replicate it. Imagine a weapon that burns on the waves, unstoppable, terrifying enemies across seas. Greek fire was a medieval superweapon, one that feels more like science fiction than reality. Not all inventions were weapons. In ancient India, around 2,500 years ago, physicians were performing surgeries that shock the modern world. Texts like the Sushruta Samhita describe advanced techniques such as cataract surgery, plastic surgery for reconstructing noses, and even complex surgical tools. Sushruta, often called the father of surgery, described hundreds of procedures and instruments in detail. These techniques were so advanced that some were not rediscovered until the 18th and 19th centuries. How could such medical knowledge exist so long ago, only to be forgotten and rediscovered millennia later? The answer remains one of history's most fascinating mysteries. The ancient Maya also mastered inventions that were centuries ahead of their time. Their astronomical knowledge was so precise that they could predict eclipses and chart Venus's movements with accuracy rivaling modern science. They built observatories aligned perfectly with celestial events, using no telescopes, no advanced instruments, just their eyes and brilliant minds. Their calendar was one of the most sophisticated ever created, tracking cycles spanning thousands of years. While schools often reduce the Maya to a people obsessed with time, their scientific achievements show a civilization whose knowledge of the cosmos was breathtaking. Even beyond these famous examples, hints of lost knowledge appear everywhere. In Peru, the Nazca people created enormous geoglyphs across miles of desert, designs only visible from the sky. In Egypt, massive obelisks were carved and transported with techniques we still don't fully understand. In Mesopotamia, early forms of plumbing and irrigation rivaled modern systems. Everywhere we look, we find proof that ancient civilizations were not primitive, they were pioneers. The question remains, why were so many of these inventions lost? Some say wars and conquests destroyed the knowledge. Others blame natural disasters, disease, or the fall of empires that carried the secrets. Perhaps knowledge is fragile, and when a civilization falls, its wisdom dies with it. Or perhaps there is something deeper. Maybe humanity once possessed a level of technology far greater than we know, only to lose it in a great forgotten catastrophe. What is undeniable is this: our ancestors were not just survivors, they were innovators. They observed, experimented, and discovered truths about the world that still astonish us today. Their inventions were not just useful, they were miracles of human ingenuity. They remind us that history is not a straight line of progress, but a cycle of discovery and loss. So the next time you look at modern technology, remember this: thousands of years ago, people with no computers, no engines, and no electricity were already creating marvels that defied belief. The Antikythera Mechanism, Roman concrete, Damascus steel, the Baghdad Battery, the Chinese seismograph, Greek fire, Indian surgical techniques, and Mayan astronomy. These are just a few of the unbelievable ancient inventions that were centuries, even millennia, ahead of their time. If you enjoyed uncovering these shocking secrets of the past, subscribe to Past in Shadow for more ancient mysteries, forbidden history, and incredible inventions the world tried to forget.